What's up, guys? I'm about to go to Panera and get some work done, but I kind of wanted to stop and just talk about this real quick. I think it is very easy. I was at a service recently, and Bishop S.Y. Younger was preaching, and he stopped in the middle of the sermon and called me out. And one of the things that he said to me was, "I am my biggest opposition." Something along the lines of, "I am my biggest opposition." And if I'm honest, it took me a few. It took me a few days to realize exactly what was being said in that moment. But I think that I'm always searching for this need to be perfect, or imagining that things have to be perfect in order for God to use me. I have to be perfect in order for God to use me. And the thing that God is calling me to, I cannot publish it, or I can't put it out, or I can't fully do it unless I do it perfect. And I know that God is calling me, and I think that there's some people who will watch this video who need to be reminded that God is calling you to be submitted. He's not calling you to be perfect. And that's a lot for me, because I think I'm in the mix of holding God at such a high regard that actually I think that I want to present him with this perfect gift. But when I think about Cain and Abel, I don't think that Abel presented God with a perfect gift. I think that he presented God with a gift that was submitted. Even if they both came to God with perfect gifts, I think one gift was a gift of submission, like I actually want to do this, and it's an act of worship. Where Cain's gift, even if it were perfect, even if it were blemishless, I think at the end of the day, it was about the posture of the heart. And I think that God is calling us to submit our heart postures over our perfection. I think that God is looking for a remnant of people in the earth and in our generation who know and who understand that God in his holiness, God in his perfection, still thought it not robbery to come down, to send Jesus Christ down, an extension of himself down to die on the cross for our sins. And I think that he's looking for people who are willing and who are submitted to do what he has called us to do on the earth. And the problem that I've had over time is that I've operated in a place of disobedience because I wanted to be perfect, or because I wanted to present God with the perfect gift. And it's interesting how sometimes your desire to perfect a thing could still result in a sin of disobedience. Because a lot of times when we're trying to perfect something, it'll never be perfect. And so rather than giving God what he is requiring from us, we hold back and we give him nothing. And we call it this pursuit of perfection. Meanwhile, God is still waiting for us to be obedient to the thing that he's called us to. But we never produce it because we're waiting for a perfect moment. And so I've been in a season where I've been telling God yes, but I think that more than my yes, God is waiting for my submission. And sometimes I think that we think that agreeing with God is submitting to God, but submission is a posture and it's an action word. And just because I agree with what God said and I said yes to what God said, doesn't mean that I'm fully submitted to doing the thing that God is calling me to submit to. And so I pray for those of us who have found ourselves in seasons of agreeing with God, but not being fully submitted to his plan. I pray for those of us who want to go after the thing that God has called us to go after. We want to be the person that God has called us to be. We want to do the thing that God has called us to do. But between the product of what God has called us to and our yes, it is us standing in the middle, blocking our full submission. And so I pray that God would make it clear to us I pray that God would make it clear to us when it's us in the way versus the enemy in the way. I pray that God would make it clear to us the times that with our mouths we have said yes, but with our actions and our bodies we have not. And I pray that God would show us what is hanging in the balance of our yes. I pray that he would show us the things that are attached to our yes, the things that are waiting for our yes, the people who are waiting for us to submit to the plan that God has given to us. And I pray that God would give us an audible moment of release into the thing that he has called us to do. Because I personally believe that God has spoken a thing to me and he's released me to do the thing. And the only thing between The thing in God's release that is the gate in my mind that tells me that it has to look and it has to be a certain way. And so, God, please release me from me.